Now, here are Kelly Ripa and Nick Lachey.
March 6, 2012. Back as my co-host today is Daddy-to-be Nick Lachey.
Thank you.
Now, at what point will you start handing cigars out to our audience? Is that when the baby's born?
I think it's when the baby's born is the only time you can safely hand out the cigars. But yeah.
I see.
And is it only if it's a boy, or is it's a boy or a girl? I'm not sure how that works.
I think Mark handed out cigars for both.
Really?
Yes, boys and girls.
So a few months, you guys come back, we'll hand out cigars, a big party.
Very exciting. And then our audience will finally get a takeaway gift. It's like the Oprah show. You get a cigar and you get a cigar.
You leave us something.
Get a cigar.
Yeah, I'm not a big cigar smoker, but I think, you know, when that day comes, I'm going to have to smoke one.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to.
It's only right. It's only right. I think it's kind of a superstitious thing.
Now, do you believe that you will go into the delivery room and coach?
I've been told, because that's what happens now, I'm told things, that it's going to be a waist-up situation, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I was going to recommend that.
I'm going to be there. Yes. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be supportively there, holding hands and coaching, breathing, and all that good stuff. But apparently that I won't be down below, seeing what's happening. I'll be up above, you know,
You've done enough down there. You don't need to do anything
My work there is done.
Yeah.
I was successful there, and yeah, we'll just keep it waist up and
waist up.
Yeah.
That would be my recommendation.
You know, this is a true story. I actually was asked a few years back to videotape one of my good friends' wives giving birth.
Okay,
so I have.
Okay, I think we can all agree that's weird. That's very weird.
I felt, you know, the hard thing is you don't know how. Do you get in close? Do you keep it a wide angle? You know, and I asked him. I said, "How do you want me to handle this? Do you want me to get like in there good and get the detail?" And he said, "Yeah." So we all got very close that day. We you know.
Wait. Okay, so.
I know it's a lot to digest.
I need to go through this.
It's a lot to digest.
So at this point, are you already Nick Lachey of 98 Degrees, the whole thing? Like, you already are a celebrity.
I was Nick Lachey of 98 Degrees fame, but only in the Philippines. It was very early on.
No.
It was only in very small islands across the world.
No. So you were well known. And so is this a good friend? Is this a good friend? Is this a relative?
He's a lifelong, he's like my brother from another mother. And yeah, we've known each other forever. We grew up together. But even knowing him that well, I was a little taken aback by the request to bring, you know what I think it was? He didn't have a video camera at the time. And I owned one.
Here is my video camera. This is how it works.
Well, what would have been the fun in that, really? I mean...
Fun for who?
Thankfully, at least afterwards, they made me the godfather. So, you know, then I felt a little better, yeah. After I saw all that, they said, all right, there's only one thing, you know, only one way we can go from here, and that's to make him the godfather. So.
I'm trying to picture under what circumstance I would allow Mark's best friend into the delivery room with the camera.
Well, I already told him, I said, if you think I'm returning the favor in a few months when Vanessa gives birth, you're crazy.
Yeah, I know.
It's not happening.
I think for him that was the ultimate goal. Like, he was like, all right, I'm going to get in there when the tables are turned.
But it really is an incredible moment. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be what it was, but it was, you know, it's a really incredible, awesome moment.
Did you cry? Did they cry?
He was watching the 49er game on TV, from what I remember. And I was crying more because I felt uncomfortable than because of anything else.
Were you steady-handed in that moment?
I didn't have a tripod, so I had to use a steady hand. And I'm happy to report that I turned over the videotape to them. I have not seen it since. It's their property, and we've moved on.
You didn't really need...
We're all still friends today, so it ended up okay.
That was like a 3D movie for you.
It was intense.
Did you wear one of those rain slickers like they wear on The Deadliest Catch?
I did not have a rain slicker on, though at times I kind of wish I did, actually.
Yeah, I know.
It would have come in handy.
Sure you did.
It would have come in handy. Yeah, it was something else.
Back when 1,000 years ago, when I was pregnant with our first son, I've told the story before, but we took Lama's class, and they show you this video from the 1970s. And in
they don't have an updated version of this?
Apparently not at the time. They didn't. I'm sure they must have certainly shot it.
Because grooming has certainly changed in the last 30 years.
Amen. Well, amen to that.
I'm just saying.
I was literally like, what's that? You know, I thought the baby was wearing a wig.
Well, for a moment.
Yeah, I
probably
mean,
was.
Yeah. But so in the 1970s, during the first sign of labor, everybody took off their clothes immediately. So, like, the man's naked, the woman's naked, everybody's deep breathing, and everybody's naked. I think at one point, the nurse practitioner came in, she's also nude. And I'm like, what kind of a video is this?
Gets you really comfortable with nudity.
Yeah. So naturally, I'm pregnant with Michael, and I gained 68 pounds. And so I'm short, so when I walk into the hospital, you have to understand, I am a circle with feet walking into the hospital. And so I'm in labor, I'm in active labor, and it becomes very unbearable. And I was in labor for a long time, like 14 hours or something, and finally I just can't take it anymore, and I decide I want that epidural. I'm not cut out for it. Oh no!
Why wouldn't you? I would take an epidural for sure.
They decide I have a C-section, so they say we need to give you an epidural. So I do what I saw in the video. I take off all of my clothes. I take off all of my clothes, and I'm standing there resplendent in my circularness.
Now, did Mark take off all of his clothes as well as in the video? Or
Mark was sort of standing there, really. Mark was, when he became very still, and he was very nervous, and he started telling me things that I already knew were happening. Like, they put a monitor on you, and so you can see the contractions happening. Well, I'm feeling them, so I know they're there. But Mark would say things like, a contraction is starting now. And I'd be like The Exorcist, I know that. You know, and then he would sort of back away, and he would, you know, mildly faint. So anyway, there I was, a nude circle, and I got down into my yoga, my position, my deep breathing
that you had
squat.
seen on the 70s video.
In the 70s video, you get into a ball. So I balled myself up as best I could, and the doctor came in and said, "Mrs. Consuelos, you can put your clothes back on. We don't do it that way anymore."
Now, how long had you guys been married when you had your first child?
A year and a half.
Year and a half. So
yeah.
you were kind of newlyweds at the time.
We were married 5 months when we found out I was pregnant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because
we had just had like this whole discussion about we're going to wait 5 years and then we're going to have kids. And then I was like,
hey, just go for it.
I feel tired all the time. I wonder why.
Stress can test newlyweds. Out today, a report in the USA Today. And it's funny because I was reading this thing this morning, and what it says is that the way you deal with stress as a new couple, as a newlywed couple, can pretty much dictate the way your relationship will go. If you can handle it well, it bodes well for the rest of your relationship. But if you can't get over those humps in the early part of your marriage, it doesn't really bode well for you. But the interesting thing that I saw was it said women enjoy a supportive word from their husband when they're going through a stressful time. So, you know, that made sense to me. It said that men actually get more stressed. If they're already stressed and their newlywed wife tries to give them supportive words, they actually get more stressed. So, guys, if your wife is stressed, give her a helping hand, a supportive word. Ladies, if your man is stressed, leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Walk out of the room. Just
apparently, guys deal with it better on their own. They don't like the input of their spouse. I don't know.
You know, I'm reminded of the Bachelor reunion episode last night.
Speaking of stress.
Speaking of stress, because at one point they show the clip and what's her name? Courtney says, as they're shopping in Switzerland, in the Swiss Alps. They're at a wine and cheese shop, and she goes, you know, as we were grocery shopping, I just realized that this is how it's always going to be. And I was like, that's not how it's ever going to be.
Because what newly dating couple doesn't shop in the Swiss Alps?
That's insane.
Makes sense.
That's insane thinking. I want you to take the car to Costco on a Sunday. You're already irritated with each other because neither one of you wants to be there, and you're running on fumes, and you've got to get gas, and nobody knows where the gas station is.
Now, can you explain something to me? Because I'm not an avid Bachelor watcher, but I did catch a little of it last night.
How did you feel afterwards?
I felt like I can never again get those 2 hours of my life back. I felt like those hours are gone forever, and no matter what I do, I can't ever get them back. But I didn't understand, all these beautiful young ladies, and they're getting catty and they're backstabbing each other. But at the end of the day, I just can't understand why they're fighting over this guy.
It's remarkable.
I don't get it. I don't understand. And there's good-looking guys out there. I've seen good-looking guys on The Bachelor. And nothing against this guy. I'm sure he's a nice guy. But, I mean, it just, to go through so much drama and so much heartache, these girls are hysterically crying, their world is going to end, and then they have to come back and talk about it on TV. And
well,
it's like,
they're
really?
drinking a lot, too, so don't forget. There's like 400 cases of wine and a box of crackers for these women to live on.
So you're saying that The Bachelor is based on a permanent state of beer goggleness? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, I think it's the
normally
only way these women must be operating under a haze. There's got to be some sort of haze. Because we're all saying the same thing. We are all watching the same show and going, huh. So, I mean, he seems, we all politely go, he seems nice.
Oh, he seems like a nice guy. There must be something there. No, I just couldn't get it. I was thinking, no, I've seen some pretty good-looking Bachelor guys.
Here's what floored me last night when I also couldn't get those 2 hours of my life back. When they all said, and Ben, you're still the most wonderful man I've ever met. No matter what, you are the most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
And you have incredible hair. It's his hair. I heard that last night. Oh, he has such great hair. Really? You're going to marry a guy for his hair? That's what it comes down to?
I mean, the hair is, it's an interesting haircut.
It is. It's got a little butt cut quality to it.
It's got, it's parted in the middle, like your young teenage son might do. But here's what I'm saying. All of these women last night want to be the next girl when he breaks it off with the girl that he proposed to, right? Aren't you all feeling that? Did anybody watch this and then immediately need like one of those hot scrubbing showers?
And then they'll suck up their pride and they'll call Chris, apparently, because they all have his cell phone number.
Oh,
and then they'll come back on the show.
On his cell phone.
Wait, Chris is giving his numbers out to everybody. Can I come back on?
Thank you so much for, yes, because I was like, what about Chris's wife? Is she tired of these nuts calling the house at all hours?
Chris, can you get me back on? I have another shot.
I just have to know why he rejected me. Let's not find out why. Let's just consider you one of the fortunate ones.
Well, speaking of marriage, I think on the show today we have someone who knows a little thing about divorce.
Yes, we do. Fran Drescher is here from the TV series Happily
And after my Bachelor experience, I'm going to man it up a little bit. I'm very excited because Los Angeles Clippers guard NBA star Chris Paul is here.
Yes. You must have watched basketball after The Bachelor.
You know what I did? I went from The Bachelor and I immediately turned on SportsCenter and felt much better about myself
afterwards. It's so funny. Yeah, that's what Mark does after I force him to watch The Bachelor. He immediately turns on some man program
like you're looking for hockey or rugby.
Yeah, like he's got to like man it up.
MMA. We need something good.
Of course, yeah. And we continue. Oh yes, that's right. Chris Paul's team lost last night by 1 point, which I thought could only happen in like high school nail biter games. That's unbelievable to me. And we continue spring cleaning week with an outdoor cleaning checklist.
Very excited about that.
Because everybody is.
I'm a big do-it-yourselfer, so I'm very excited to get some tips on outdoor cleaning.
You're going to be a good father for that very reason, because you're in a constant state of cleaning out every closet of the rest of your life once you have kids, to make room for all of their stuff.
Should I have a boy, by the time he's 6 years old, he's old enough to rake the leaves and go out there and Daddy gets off the hook. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
You telling me it doesn't?
Tut, tut.
By the time he's 8, he cleans the gutters.
Right.
Yeah.
They clean the gutters at 8. Yeah. At 8, I'm always surprised when I'm like still like tying shoes. I'm like, shouldn't you be doing this by now? Here's your chance to be a part of our spring cleaning series. Go to our website, submit your best spring cleaning tip, and on Friday's show, we're going to share them on the air. Yes.
Right.
Now, is there anything in this for the viewers at home? Like, will they receive a special mug, or are we going to give them a prize?
Can I give my spring cleaning tip?
Yes.
My tip is, it's fun. You never know what you're going to find, because we actually just recently moved, and going through our garage and sorting through some stuff, look what I found.
Oh my gosh. It's us. Yes. Nick?
A blast from the past.
Nick and I started together.
We were just kids.
We started together when we were children on Hope and Faith, and that is our love child, Paulie Litt, right there. We had a little baby sailor.
So you never know what you're going to find when you go spring cleaning.
It's true.
It's good fun.
Since you brought up spring cleaning, I just hope that I find a chicken McNugget that looks like George Washington, since that was in the newspaper today. That this lady has sold a chicken nugget that she thinks looks like George Washington for $8,100.
Oh, I see it now. I see it.
Do you see it?
It's very Mount Rushmore in a chicken nugget kind of way.
See, I think it sort of looks like Cro-Magnon Man. Here's the nose, here's the brow, here's the cauliflower ear. Right? Cro-Magnon.
It's the new trend. People used to look for the Virgin Mary. Now we're all going to look for George Washington everywhere.
Yeah. By the way, this chicken McNugget, I want to point out, in its pristine condition, is 3 years old. So just think about that, everybody.
Frozen. It's been frozen.
It's been frozen.
It's been
but
formaldehyded. It's well preserved.
Think about it. Everybody think about it for a second. Yeah, she didn't want it. She couldn't bear to part with it because it looked so much like George Washington.
Because you can't find George Washington anywhere else.
Well, those
George
Washington chicken McNuggets are very hard to find unless you buy the Purdue chicken nuggets that are shaped like the presidents, because they have the ones that are shaped like dinosaurs and stars and now the presidents. It's time for Daily Dial Trivia. Bring down the devil.